All right. I really want y'all to understand the power of DeLorean. All right. For those of y'all that are on this call right now, I appreciate y'all. And I really want to make sure y'all understand exactly how to utilize DeLorean. Even if you already know what it is, if you have a team and you would love for this to be the strategy that you teach your team, I really want to make sure y'all understand how to teach it. All right. Where to start off, where to get the rest of the information, and what are the key essential things that they need to know when they first get introduced to DeLorean. All right. So if y'all are ready, if y'all ready to get this information as far as practice, or is this your first time getting introduced to DeLorean, please drop a 1 in the chat. All right. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what is DeLorean. DeLorean is a multi-time frame analysis algorithm. Okay. It is a strategy that allows you to get in on the momentum of the move. There is no catching the reversal. There is no, it's not sniping. It's really consistent trading. If you never want to be caught on the wrong side of the trade, DeLorean makes sure you know when to get out and when's the right time to get in. If you're worried about being in a trade for too long, there are set standards and regulations that DeLorean has to make sure that you are making profit at the end of the day. All right. Even if you have a losing record, you can still be 3 and 4 and still be profitable based upon DeLorean's risk management strategy. All right. And this is just some of the things I want to introduce to y'all before I go over exactly what these steps is and everything of that nature, just so y'all have an understanding of what DeLorean is. All right. So I am going to share my screen once I get this pulled up. Let's hope that DeLorean decides to work today. All right. If you can see my screen, drop a 2 in chat. Back. All right. This is DeLorean. If you need to get to DeLorean, it is called DeLorean.im. Same login credentials for IM Academy. Everything is still the same. All right. This is what DeLorean looks like. What do you have here? You have the alert panel. This will tell you what pairs that is calling out. Okay. So right now, about 8 hours ago, they called gold for a trade. It was down here, went for a buy. Gold again. This is the exotic. So this is the alert panel. They'll tell you whether they're looking for a buy or whether you're looking for a sell. Don't just take the trade based upon this. There's a 4-step process that you need to understand. All right. And what it's called is BCLS. All right. These is 4 questions that you need to answer before you get into any trade. Bigger, cut, location, space. Bigger, cut, location, space. All right. Those are 4 questions that you need to answer before you get into the trade. And I'm going to show you exactly what these questions are. Right here. This is question 1. Bigger. When you see a DeLorean called out in the alert panel, you will look at the 2 candles before the arrow. Is the second candle larger than the first candle? All right. I'm going to do this example over buys. Okay. So is the blue candle larger than the red candle? The answer has to be yes. If it's no, you're not taking the trade. The second question is cut. Does the red line cut through both body candles? The answer is yes. You go on to step 3. All right. If it's no, you're not taking that trade. Step number 3, location. Is the gray, blue, or aqua line closely below the 2 candles? Remember, this is a buy example. All right. And then I'm going to show you the visual afterwards. If the answer is yes, Go on to step 4. If it's no, you're not taking the trade. Step number 4 is space. Make sure that the gray, blue, or aqua line are not closely above price. What does this mean? You're giving the trade room to actually make profit. All right? If the answer is yes to step 4, that's when you take the trade. If you do not have all yeses, you're not taking. This is like a questionnaire or a multiple choice where it has to be all yes. If it's not all yes, the answer is no. You're not taking it. All right? It could be yes, 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 no. You're not taking the trade. All right? That's how simple the 4 steps are. And I'm going to go through examples today, once it refreshes, of exactly how to utilize this. So I'm going to go through a buy example first. Okay? See if we can find a good one. No good one so far. This one was called. This is a prime example of a good one. All right. You have this blue arrow. It's kind of hidden right now. But the first question, bigger. Is the blue candle larger than the red candle? Yes or no? Type it in the chat. All right. Second question. Cut. Does the red line cut through both body candles? Both the red and the blue candle? Yes or no? All right. Question number 3. Location. Is the gray, blue, or aqua closely below the 2 candles? Yes or no? Yes. All right. And space. Is there any line? Does the trade have space above the candles? That means, is there any line in play right now at the top? Yes or no? So is there space up here before the next line? Yes. So you got all 4 yeses. You are taking this trade. So what would you do? You would have got in and you would still be in profit right now. And right now it'll move about 10 pips. That's a goal for Delorean. All right. This is not something I talked about, but right here. The recommended stop loss is at least 10, I say 10 to 15 pips plus the spread times 2. I will talk about that later. All right. TP should be at least 10 to 15 pips or at least double what the stop loss is. All right. And I'll talk about that later. Just to get y'all in your mindset of understanding what it is that you're looking for. And I'll show you how to find stop loss and take profit too. All right. And this is a buy example of exactly what Delorean teaches. You have your 4-step process without even knowing anything else. You will take this trade and you will be in profit right now. All right. If that makes sense, drop a 2 in the chat. Bet. All right. The next rule I want to tell y'all about is this rule right here. 3COL. This is 3 candles or less. All right. What does this mean? This means that where you enter this trade at, 3 candles after Delorean is called out, you should be in profit. If you are not in profit after 3 candles, you pull out. All right. You got to understand, if you are not in profit after 3 candles, you pull out. What does this mean? It depends on the time frame that is called. Be aware that when you get a Delorean signal on the right-hand side, this 15-minute, this 30-minute will tell you exactly what time frame the Delorean is called on. And if it's called on the 15-minute, that means you're on a 15-minute chart. 3 candles of 15 minutes, that means you are waiting 45 minutes to see if you're going to still be in profit or not. If you do it on the 30-minute time frame, 3 candles at 30 minutes is an hour and a half. You are waiting 90 minutes to see if you're going to be in profit or not right after this trade is called out. If you see a trade, what pair was on? I was on EuroCat. If you see a trade that has been called out, but you are late to the party, do not get in. Unless you see drawdown a little bit on the same candle, but everything still aligns, you can still get in. But this candle right here, say that you were to see this now, this is not a trade you will get in at all. It's too late. The move has already been made. And like I said, it's already moved 10 pips. There's no point in getting in this trade anymore. Because guess what? If you get in, you are now risking 10 extra pips on top of stop loss being down here. So while everybody else is probably risking 10 pips for a stop loss, you're risking 20. It does not make sense. All right? Same thing that applies. There's going to be some 60-minute, which is an hour. There's going to be some 4-hour, which is 240 minutes. It's not going to go about an hour. It's going to say 240 minutes right here. So if you get a 4-hour Delorean and you get into that trade, you are going to be waiting for 3 candles. 3 candles, which is 12 hours. So come back at the later half of the day, see if you're going to be in profit or not. And if you are not in profit, you just close the trade, accept it as a loss. Delorean has protected you from losing more money. If you, after those 12 hours, you are in profit, you just stay in the trade until further notice or until you're comfortable with your profit. Okay? That is the 3 candle or less rule. All right? The next thing I'm going to talk about is the type 1 versus type 2 trade. All right? There's going to be multiple trades that Delorean give you, but there's going to be some times, let's see if I can actually find one, where I'm actually looking at sales too. There's going to be some times, see if I can find a good example. This is a sell right here. Nope. Find a good one. Find a good one. EuroCAD. This is a good example. This is a really good example. I like this one. All right. Say we look at these candles right here. We're going to look at these two. Okay. Change the color. Change the color. And make it a little bit more translucent. Actually, I'm going to make this still purple so you can see it. All right. So, boom. These 2 candles. Let's say we're looking for a sell right now. All right. Go through the sell example real quick, and I'm going to show you how to find distinguish between the type 1 and type 2 trade. All right, boom. You see this, step number 1, bigger. Is the red candle larger than the blue candle? Yes or no? All right, step number 2, cut. Does the red line cut through both candle bodies? Yes or no? All right. Location. Is the gray, aqua, or blue closely above, because this time it sells, closely above the 2 candle bodies? Yes or no? Yes. And number 4, is there space below the 2 candles between any lines? Are there any lines hindering price to go from any, is there any lines hindering price to go any lower? Yes or no? So you would take this trade right here. After 3 candles, you are still in profit. Later on, you do get a little pullback, but you ride the trade out after these 3 candles and you are still in profit. So right now, if you were to get in off of this, it would be up almost 40 pips right now. Now, difference between a type 1 and a type 2 trade is where the lines, if the lines are in play. All right, this is a type 2 trade. So if you want to screenshot this as I type this out, type 2 trade is when SRT is in play. And what do I mean by this? Your take profit is determined on support and resistance, the last level of support. So if I look past where we get in right here, I'm gonna just mark this so I can see it clearly for myself. Oops. Mark this clearly so I can see it. Boom. And where we want to get in at is right there. All right. So we mark where the next level of support and resistance is. After our entry point, we will see that the next low is down here. So we will mark the next level, which is right here. This is where the latest support, latest resistance became a support. You'll mark this line about right here. I'm gonna change this color to green so we can see it. And you come back to this side, and what do you see? Prices clearly came and hit take profit. All right, this is the easiest way to determine take profit on a type 2 trade, because you don't have the lines to work with. All right, that's why if you was on my support and resistance call earlier today, this is why I emphasize the fact that SRT is pivotal. It's pivotal for any strategy that you use. You understand SRT, you can determine your own stop loss and take profit with ease. All right, this is a prime example. From your entry point, which is the end of this candle, to where it's at now, this is a solid 25 pips. This is a beautiful Delorean where you don't have to go for as many pips. Delorean is there for you to take 10, 15, 20 pips and still make your percent for the day off of 2 or 3 trades. All right, I'm gonna go over risk management at the end too. Okay, and I'm gonna show you a clear-cut example as to why Delorean is important. All right, and this is a type 2 trade. All right, if we go back to, where was it? This one. This is a type 1 trade. Okay. Type 1 trade is when the EMAs are in play. The EMAs are the yellow, red, aqua, gray, blue line. So when you get the right steps and everything, and you see that there's a line in play, this is your designated take profit line. Now, remember what I said. Delorean is there for you to make at least 10, 15, 20 pips. All right. So technically, if you were to get in this trade, your take profit would be right below this line. You see that's 53 pips. This is where take profit 1, 2, and 3 come in. Your first initial take profit, your TP1, can be about 15 pips. That way, you're guaranteed to make some sort of profit, even if the market does not go all 53 pips right now. All right? This is ideal, especially with taking partials, just in case the market decides to reverse after 10, 15, 20 pips. You can't say that you didn't make no profit. All right? Whenever you will see me send trades out, that's why I send TP1, TP2, TP3. TP1 is always the guaranteed take profit. TP3 is usually the ideal take profit. All right. Every 15, 20 pips, you could set another take profit, hence TP2. So this one, you would do 10, 15 pips, 30 pips away. And then the last TP3 would be like 50, 53 pips away. That's how you determine take profit. If y'all understand take profit, drop a TP in the chat. I need to make sure I understand take profit. Type 1, type 2, understand how to find take profit. If there's any questions, let me know. Bet. Stop loss. Stop loss. I'm going to type this out. I'm going to do this for, since we're on the buy right now, for a buy, stop loss is the low of the 2 candles plus spread times 2. Now, what does this mean? This means that if you're looking at this candle, right? Below this candle, this includes the wicks. So whatever Delorean you see, you include the wick in your stop loss. Since our wick is literally right here, this is where our initial stop loss would be. But I did not factor in the spread yet, this plus part. So if you were to go to MetaTrader 4 right now, I'm gonna see if I can pull this up actually on TradingView. If you were to go to TradingView right now, the difference between the bid and ask price right here is the spread. So right now, the spread for GBP, I'm actually going to Eurocast since that's the example I'm doing. The spread right now is 1.2 pips. What you will see in MetaTrader 4 is points, remember, or yeah, points. So what you'll see, can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, drop a one in the chat. So what you'll see is 1.1. This means the spread is 1.1 pips right now. We're just going to use that number. I know it's changing. All right, so spread times 2 is 2.2 pips. So you will add 2.2 pips to your stop loss. So right now it's 9.7 at the low of the 2 candles. Add 2.2 pips. So it is 11.9. Get it as close as possible. All right. That's how you determine stop loss. And as you can see, the market has not came back anywhere below it, anything. This is just a safe haven. All right. You see how you're using 10 to 15 pips for your stop loss. And your profit is going to be at minimum. You can at least secure 10, 15 pips. But the ideal is 50 in this example. All right. This goes into the next thing. Risk to reward ratio. You see this risk to reward ratio right here? This is amazing. For any Delorean trade, your risk to reward ratio needs to at least be 2 to 1. Meaning that for every 2 pips to take profit is 1 pip of stop loss. That means if you have a stop loss of 10 pips, your take profit shouldn't be anywhere below 20 pips. Your ideal take profit. You can always do partials after 10 pips, but your ideal take profit should at least be 20 pips. All right. And that goes for any trade you take, buy or sell. If you have a stop loss of at least 20 pips, your take profit should be at least 40 pips. So on and so forth. All right. That's the risk to reward. If y'all understand how to find stop loss and understand risk to reward, drop a 2 in the chat. I really want to make sure you understand exactly how to utilize this because it's as simple as they make it. But the next thing I want to show y'all is actually how to calculate your risk. There is a website called My FX Book that Patrick Kenny showed me where you can calculate your risk. You don't change the contract size, leave it as 100,000. All right, how do you show the risk to reward? So if you're ever on Delorean, right, and you see a pair that you like, get accustomed with this left-hand side. Please play with it. Do whatever you need to do because these tools are going to be beneficial. Right here is what we call, if you double click, long position, short position. Long position is for you mapping out your buys. Short position is you mapping out your sales. All right. This is the text box. This is the rectangles, tools, etc. And this is the lines, horizontal lines, horizontal rays. This is how I marked up my support and resistance. All right. But in order to see your risk to reward, put the long position. All right. For this one, buy is long, sell is short. I put a long position. Let me delete this. All right. So when you click it, this is what shows up. Right. Pretend like it just didn't do anything. This is exactly how it popped up. All right. You know your take profit is going to be right around this line. You can even go a little bit short just to be safe, but you know price has a potential at least going all the way up here. Your stop loss, like I said, is about 11.9. So you drag that down till you see these numbers here. These three numbers are going to be in points. It's not going to be in pips. So 118 points is 11.8 pips. 506 points is 50.6 pips. All right. And your risk to reward ratio will show here. As long as this number is 2 or better, you are good to take this trade based off of Delorean. If that makes sense, drop a 1 in the chat. Back. All right. Now, myfxbook.com has a calculator that really shows you how much you're risking. All right. Delorean advises people to risk no more than 1 to 2% in a trade. Ideally, 1%. Okay? If you risk 1% in a trade, and say that your account size is 500, and your stop loss, for that example, say that the stop loss was 11.8, right? EuroCAD, boom. That means we can use a total lot size. If we're risking $5, which is 1%, for a stop loss of 11.8, that means we can have a lot size of 0.05. If you know your lot size is 0.05 is 50 cents per pip, right? So if you just do quick math, 50 times 12, or 5 times 12, you know that's about $6. But 0.05, ideal lot size for 11.8 pips, all right? This will help you calculate how much you're fully risking in a trade if you're not good at quick math. So all you need to do is change your account size. And actually, I'll drop this in the chat. So if y'all need to save this, go ahead and put it somewhere safe. Put it in your notes, whatever you need to do. Boom. All right. You're going to put in your account size. You're risking 1% a trade. Your stop loss for this trade, it will change per every trade, but this trade is 11.8. You don't change the contract size, and you can change the currency pair. All right. And when you calculate, this is what it shows. You're risking $5. That means you're risking about, you're using a 0.056 lot size, which is 0.05. Always round this number down. Do not round this number up. If you round this number to 0.06, you're using more than your risk ratio. Rather round down less so it makes sense. 0.05. All right. And if you want to calculate how much you actually make take profit wise, your risk to reward ratio is, off of this example, which was it? It was 4.29, right? So if your risk to reward ratio is 4.29, off of a 0.05 lot size, right? Actually, I'm gonna go back to 1. I'm gonna just do regular math, right? 0.05 lot size multiplied by 56 pips. Or was it 56? It is 50, right? And I'm going to type it out. 0.05 lot is equals 50 cents per pip. If you do that 0.5 multiplied by that 50, you get $25. No, that's 25. That means you are risking $5 for $25. You are risking 5% of your account to make $25. You are risking 1% to make 5%. Now, if you make 5%, you are good for the rest of the day. The ideal percent to make per day is at least 3 to 5% of your account. All right, I'm gonna show you exactly why. Okay, see if I can find this handy dandy calculator. Let's see if I can do this right real quick. All right, might need to refresh it. Say you have a $500 account. And I know you can't see it yet, but give me a second. And you're risking boom, this is perfect. All right. Say you're risking 500, you have $5 in your account, right? I'm actually gonna do it this way. And you risk 5%, you're looking to make 5% a day. And say that you trade 3 days out of the week, right? So say that you trade 12 months, making 5% a day, 3 days out of the week. That means you're making 60% of your account a month, right? So we're gonna put 60 here. 12 months, disregard that, I'm turning it into months, right? Now, you don't take nothing out of this account. This is true solely your growing account, right? In the span of 12 months, 60%, this includes human error and everything. If you make 5% a day for 3 days, or at least 15% a week, within 4 weeks within a month, you could turn $500 into $140,000. Now, what does this require? This requires discipline. This requires consistency. This requires a trading plan, an understanding. You have to follow all of the rules to the T in order to make this ratio. I'm gonna give you an example. And after this is all I got. All right. This is gonna be a prime example of exactly what I mean. I'm actually gonna do it over here. All right. Clear this. Boom. Say that you have this rectangle that signifies your 1% risk, right? I say that we have somebody named John that starts taking Delorean trades, but has not been having good luck so far, right? So he takes first trade, it's a loss. Second trade, it's a loss. Third trade, it's a loss. Fourth trade, it's a loss. So he's been having a very bad, rough streak, but he's been following all the rules to the T. So that means that he's only been losing 1% of his account every time he's taking a loss, right? So right now he's 0-4. He's 0-4 using DeLorean. A lot of people would get discouraged and throw DeLorean to the side, right? But if you follow the rules, this is exactly how DeLorean actually benefits you in the long run, right? Say that you're using DeLorean. And you lost your 1% 4 times. Right now, you're currently 0-4. What if the next trade you win, right? And remember, the risk to reward ratio is at least 2%. So this doesn't even guarantee that you're winning. You might be winning more than 2%, right? But your 2% has already taken out 2 of those losses. Right? Now he's 1-4. Say he wins the next trade. Now he's 2-4, but he has just earned his money back, and he hasn't lost anything. Right? He is 2-4 and still at the same amount that he started with. He done made his money back. Say he wins the next 2 trades. Say he wins the next 2 trades. Right? His percentage, even though he is 4-4, a lot of people look at 4-4 like, oh, you have not made any money. But he is 4-4 following the 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Now he's up 4% because he followed the rules. Delorean is the only strategy or add-on that I know like you can still have a losing record and still be profitable. So even if you come in and you follow the rules and you have a rough start when using Delorean, don't get discouraged because you're gonna have those winning trades. And those winning trades are gonna at least double back what you lost because you're following the 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. If that makes sense, drop a 777 in the chat. Because this is really why Delorean is my focus. Because you can use this strategy, you can use this rule on anything, and it makes sense. You risk 1% in your trade on a 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risk reward ratio, you are easily making your percentage every day. The thing that affects a lot of people is when they look at the monetary value. If you have a $100 account and you're only making 2%, 2 to 5% a day, you're probably only making $5. It doesn't sound like a lot of money, but when you look at the percentage, you understand that you are following the plan to the T, right? So if you're first starting off, you're using a $100 account, do not get discouraged if you're only making $5 to $10 a day. You are well on track to be further than anybody else in the next couple of months because there's a lot of people that don't understand the value of consistency. Be consistent with your trading. Be consistent with how you enter your trades, and I promise you will be better off than a lot of people. Don't let the greed, don't let the hunger to get money get you. Understand discipline, understand consistency, and I promise you will be profitable in this market. All right. Now, there's something I want to give my HFX people, right? And this is something that's going to be coming into effect, hopefully within the next couple months. All right. Patrick Kenny, as well as Tyrone Foster, has been working on something for the HFX people. And this bolsters even why I want to use Delorean more. What if you have the ability to trade not only Forex, but HFX all off of one add-on and not having to pay more? $22 for one single add-on to have a strategy that works on both sides of the market, right? And I'm going to show you how they use this strategy real quick and just exactly what they do. Because I've been playing with it on my own, right? But it's based upon the 5-minute time frame, okay? What they do with the 5-minute time frame is exactly use Delorean, all right? Let me see if it loads. It's taking a sweet old time, all right? On here, I have my EMAs, gray, white, yellow, red, blue, etc., right? When they call out a 5-minute Delorean, or once you start getting more in detail, guess what you see, right? This is a perfect 5-minute Delorean right here. The red is kind of just ticking. This is the blue, this is the red. My colors are different, all right? Or even if you were to look at this one, right? This is a Delorean as well. You take this Delorean, the next trade you get in right here on the 5-minute. You take a 5-minute sell on HFX, you won the trade. Let's see if I can find another one. Let me go back. Boom, 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 boom. You take a 5-minute sell, well, you wouldn't because of the blue line. Let me see if I can find another good one on the 5-minute. But this is literally just Delorean in a nutshell. And they have found a way to use it for HFX people. Okay. Let's see if I can find one more decent example. And then we'll leave it off at that. All right, we're gonna find another pair. But you pretty much get the gist of this, right? Understanding that following the rules and regulations, there's not too much else you have to do. You just have to be disciplined enough to follow the rules every time you get in a trade. Not what looks good, what is good. I promise you Delorean will be profitable. All right. I'm not finding one right now. Nope. This is one right here. You get in on this Delorean, and they actually have this. It's going to be called Hyperdrive. All right. And it's set up just like what I just showed y'all with this Delorean here. They're going to have the alert panel. They're going to have the pairs, and it's just going to be 5-minute time frames. All right. And what they're going to do is the same thing. They're going to alert you. So there is a Telegram chat of alerts where they send out when they see a Delorean. So if you're not currently at the chart, if you're not currently looking, they will send you alerts to show you or to tell you, hey, we just popped up a Delorean. You can come check to see if it's good or not. All right. The ideal time for Delorean trading is between 2 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern. For a lot of people, the issue comes with waking up in the morning. I am on Pacific time. So if I want to catch the beginning, either I'm going to be up at 11 o'clock or I'm going to get up at 3 o'clock to catch the later half. That's just what it is. But for my Pacific people, if you understand that you are a night owl, you can be up from 11 to 1, find your trades and be done for the rest of the day. You don't have to wait until the next night. Or if you know you get up early, whether it's military, whatever, and you just have an early routine, you can get up at 3 and 4 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 3 a.m. Pacific, Tyrone Foster goes live. So if you're up at 3 a.m., you can hop on his session, trade live with him. There's too many ways for us to get involved, especially with Delorean, and actually make money. It just comes down to the person, to the individual, to make that shift within themselves. All right, got to wake up if I want to make some money. If you don't want to make money, I don't know what to tell you, honestly. But that's Delorean, all right? So like I said, 5 minutes is going to be called Hyperdrive. They're going to be coming out with it in the next couple months. Pastor Kenny is getting it approved and everything, and it should be getting pushed out. They're going to have calls and everything to launch it, all right? And you'll see it. They'll definitely announce it. Me, Trent, all of us are going to drop it when it happens because Delorean is going to take over the game. Not going to lie. No cap. All right? So, yeah, you get in this trade for 5 minutes. Next 5 minutes, you end up winning. Next 5 minutes, you end up winning. You would have won for at least the next 15 minutes. All right? And that's just how it works. If you want to treat it just like the 3 candle or less rule, you could turn it into a 15-minute trade. 15 minutes on HFX, sit in it for 15 minutes. You get in, after 15 minutes, you still in profit, right? After 15 minutes, you still in profit, right? This is just an example of how powerful Delorean truly is. All you got to do is understand and be disciplined. You be disciplined, you're golden, right? I think that's all the good examples I'm going to find right now. All right. But if y'all understood this, if it made sense for y'all that are on this call, I appreciate all 7 of y'all that are on here. Please drop a fire on the chat. All right. If there's any other questions, anything else that y'all need, please let me know now. All right. And I will make sure to answer them before I get off this call. But if there's nothing else, I appreciate y'all for taking the time to hop on this call. Please don't hesitate to ask me any other questions. I'm always here to answer them. If I don't have them now, we'll have them later. Okay? Appreciate y'all. I'll definitely see y'all in the next call.